Welcome today. I have two wonderful parents with me. I invited them to discuss with us their journey and their experiences of having a deaf daughter. But before we get into that, I really want you to get to know this wonderful family. First, we have Brian, and then we have his wife, Stephanie. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your family. My name is Brian with a B because I serve in the military, in the Air Force. And her name is with a C, like that, because she likes to dance. I'm a dance teacher. We have been married 10 years. 10 years now. Congratulations. He was baptized yesterday. Oh, Billy. Okay. Which one is hearing and which one is deaf?
Yeah. Our son is hearing, and it's the oldest, and the second one, she's deaf. And I'll explain her situation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our daughter was born with, enlarged vestibular aqueduct.
Oh, okay.
So when she gets hit on the head or falls or sneezes, something in her head makes more water, and it damages the hair in her ears. She can't hear. But after 1 year, drop.
She started losing hearing in both ears?
Every 2 months, drop, so fast.
Was it scary too?
Well, at first it felt really sad. If she was born deaf, we could accept it easier, but seeing her drop, it was like a slow drop, but consistent. It was consistent 5 to 10 decibel drop. Yeah, when she was 4.5, she finally qualified for cochlears because she dropped below severe.
I am happy that drop, because if Philly was born deaf, we not tried sign language because we would have been given the cochlears at birth, but because
struggle through the
losses.
So while she was losing her hearing, you were losing sign. But the option to have a cochlear implant wasn't available until she started losing her hearing below that level.
With kids with cochlears who don't learn sign language. But because we didn't qualify for the cochlears, we needed to sign before cochlears.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
all of Philly's, from birth to 3.5, she hated hearing aids. She hated them. In the oven. She threw them out the car. She'd hide them in the car seat. It was so stressful, always losing her hearing aids. I was crying all the time. They're so expensive.
So expensive. Where are they? Where are they?
Yeah, I was always praying, please help us find it. Like on Christmas when she was 2 years old, we were looking for 3 hours because her hearing aids got thrown in the garbage.
Oh my. Wow. So during that time, you had a deaf mentor.
Yeah, I had
come to your home. She went to the deaf school. And then you two were starting to think about going to the ASL board in Salt Lake City. But I know the two of you had some concerns. What were your feelings before? Because you didn't immediately start going to the ASL board. What helped you make that decision to transfer to go to a deaf ASL board?
I knew about the deaf ward. I went when she was like 2, but I had, like, my deaf mentor told me that sometimes the deaf ward is not welcoming to hearing families. So I was nervous if they would accept me.
Will they like me? Will they accept me?
Will they like me? I don't know if my son will like it. We kept going. So I visited that one time when she was like 2 years old. And I felt the spirit. And I remember your husband, Dean, and you were so nice that one time I visited. You helped your husband, Dean,
play the piano.
You were tapping him on the back. That was my first time.
I was helping him with the timing.
First time, and I was like, wow, that was amazing. Wow. But I didn't know it was the right time for us, our family. Let's see, when Billy turned 3 for Sunbeams, I was like, we need to go more often. So 2 hours of the hearing ward, and then we'd go to like 1.5 of the deaf ward. So our kids were really tired on Sunday.
For one year, we went to hearing and deaf ward. We did not feel home.
First Sunday hearing, second word deaf. Third hearing, fourth word deaf.
So you alternated every week between the wards.
The reason why we started to rotate is because our hearing ward had an interpreter in the ward, but she wasn't willing to interpret for our daughter. And that was frustrating.
Because she felt,
you need to be in the deaf ward. I was like, yeah, but Boston wants to go to the hearing ward. He has friends there. And so we were like,
feeling kind of conflicted.
Yeah, so we were frustrated.
Which one should I for your family? It was a hard decision.
We asked our bishop, hey, can you ask the state disability specialist if they can find an interpreter. They didn't find one.
We served a lot. I was
serving in the state primary, and that's another reason I didn't want to leave I really
yeah.
liked my calling because I teach in the elementary school. So I'd go to their church and I'd see them at school. It was really fun for me. I felt like connected to these kids, you know. So I was just frustrated. The deaf ward helped us, but our hearing ward couldn't give us an interpreter. So a lot to always need to communicate with an interpreter saying, hey, can you come this week? Our interpreters were so nice, but I still felt bad because they had to travel 20 minutes to church just to interpret for Philly
And she did
For a
not
3-year-old.
listen.
Yeah,
She didn't look.
she wouldn't
So
always
they're not
watch.
paying attention, distracted.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
so
Am I
we
doing the
were
right
mad.
thing by
Yeah.
getting an interpreter? If my daughter's not paying attention, she's a sunbeam.
Yeah.
She's a normal 3-year-old.
Yeah, it's normal for them. But I still felt like bad for making everyone accommodate to her needs when she's not paying attention. So I was like, yeah. But anyway, I call it what I was feeling, I call the divine discontent. What we are to what we have the power to become. And I knew that bridge the gap. Yeah.
How do you
We need
connect
to
that bridge?
change something and improve something. So I was like, this would just be easier if we let go of our hearing world into the deaf ward. And I asked my son, Boston, how would you feel about that? And I thought he would be sad, but he said, I like the way the people make me feel at the deaf ward. When I say a prayer in the deaf ward and primary, they're like, that was awesome, good job, good try. No, feels good. But like in our hearing ward, there's just so many kids that like, okay, next. And he didn't feel like
Didn't feel really connected or
recognized,
appreciated.
Yeah.
So going to the hearing ward, it was easy to just feel like another number. But in the deaf ward, we felt seen, cared for, and appreciated.
Your family made us.
It's not that our hearing ward was bad because they had so many wonderful people, but the deaf ward, like, they made us feel like celebrities because we're learning sign for our kids. They're just like, keep going, you're doing an amazing job. When in the hearing ward, I just felt like a burden to them. Everyone needs to learn this sign song for her, and we need to work to find an interpreter, and we're not finding one, so you need to find one. This is just too much, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot. So going to the deaf ward, you finally let go of going to the hearing ward and started attending the ASL ward full time. You really felt welcomed and connected and felt supported from the members in the ward. You didn't feel like, oh, who are you? But you felt really welcome. They were happy to see you. They were happy to see parents that were, struggling and signing. That didn't prevent them from welcoming you. What has been your favorite thing or your experience in attending the deaf ward that you have loved?
Also, with the hearing ward, I felt like I need to act different.
Formal.
Yeah, they were very formal. They didn't like my
goofy
My,
personality.
but here, with the deaf ward, loves like they're not
Scared.
scared.
Love like you're not scared.
They, yeah, love you.
We loved the ASL ward because we felt like we didn't have to be fake. We could be real and be loved. That's true. One thing you told me, Brian, sometimes you go to the hearing ward and they say like, hello, Brother Clancy, and they shake your hand, very formal. And when you come to the deaf ward and you walk in, all four of you are walking in, and you see another deaf, and they wave to you with an I love you hand, and you're like, oh, I feel so loved. Everyone's waving an I love you at me. That's been a wonderful experience for you. So, Stephanie, what's your favorite thing that you have loved since you started attending the ASL ward?
People are willing to accept help. People want to be helped. People need help. There's so much happening. I like how united. It's like Thursday nights, activity days, same time as young women. And they have study the scriptures night for the adults. His mom wants to come to the deaf ward because when they walk in, they feel the spirit strong, because I think the people there they have real intent and real intent when they're at church. They're not there because they need to go. They want to go. And the spirit is very strong. Like family. When they do the hymns, well, you need to learn sign language if you want to go to that church because they need you. Everyone there wants to be a part of helping people. So that's why it's special.
So, Brian, you said growing up in the ward in Massachusetts, it was a big ward. Same as the deaf ward here in Utah. It's a big area. And that impacts diversity in the ward dynamics. From Massachusetts, you see that similarity of what you have, a diversity of rich, poor, needy, help, and everything in between. Sometimes you see small diversity in the hearing wards, but here, when you're involved in the ASL ward, you see more diversity. So sometimes it feels like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, but wards need diversity. I have to say, you two are a part of our diversity in our ward too. We appreciate the two of you and your family and your participation, because I know your journey, it's been scary and hard and frustrating, but you have been able to come to the Deaf ASL ward and feel a sense of belonging among the diversity. You have blessed us as a ward, and you have felt the blessings in your family. And we hope that people, as they see and watch this video, that they will feel that in your journey. So I want to give you the last word, meaning I want you to share your testimony, your experience with your deaf daughter, and in the Deaf Latter-day Saint community, how that's impacted your testimony of the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's right.
God has helped us feel close.
Oh, I love that. Thank you both for your testimony and your example to help us see. And sometimes faith requires just doing the next right thing until we find on the journey it's leading us closer to Christ. Even though it worked out different than we imagined, it will impact and change us forever. Seeing God change your heart and your family is wonderful. Thank you.